And you're listening to the Disc Golf Show, episode number 23 for November the 5th. My name is Justin. With me today is that
Nick,
guy.
That's me.
That's right. All episode long, he's going to be there.
Let's hope you pointed the right way.
I think I did. I'll just do that in case.
That's what you from now on, yeah.
Just doing that. Joining me today, that guy. Am I picking his nose? Am I picking his nose?
Quite.
No? All right. Well. Yeah, just put your head up to this side, and then I can... Yeah, okay, all right. And show's over. People have turned it off, which is fine. We made it farther than we normally do. Today's show, before we get into the thick of it, is brought to you in part by Final Nine Sports with their 2 locations, one in Orangeville, one in Rockland. Support local if you can't, support them if you're not in our area, because that's the point. You should. There's all these online retailers these days, and you should support your local shop because they try hard.
Well, like we've talked about, your local shop doesn't always have everything. They can't carry everything.
It happens.
So
it happens.
You got to shop online sometimes, but yeah, best thing to do is go shop local.
Absolutely.
All right.
So today we've got a jam-packed show full of tournament details and descriptions, and no, we don't. We have none of that.
Not quite.
Because we're entering into what we call, Nick,
Don't say it. Don't say it. You're going to get hate mail.
Season. Nick at discgolfshow.com. Nick at discgolfshow.com. It's the off season. Grow up.
Is. Yeah.
It is.
It's
okay?
off season, guys.
I know. It's the off season.
Yeah.
You know what we're talking about.
Exactly.
Play along with.
Yeah.
Play along with. Or don't. I don't care.
So per our last show, we brought up there's that whole argument, especially now that the season's over, right? You have basically the most points that you could make about the GOAT topic, right? Or not even the GOAT topic, actually. This is more about best season ever topic, okay? And that was always...
Gotcha.
Yeah. As of this season, it was brought down to between 2015 McBeth season, where he won every major, and he didn't place out of his average was, I think, always podium. And go check the stats. And then the other one is this year's, or Buhr's season for this year. So I don't know if you saw it. Wysocki chimed in. Chimed in on X, yes.
All right.
And which is, this is the most ideal situation.
Okay.
To have Wysocki, because he himself states, I was right there for both.
True. Who else could tell you better, right?
Right. So he states.
All right. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, of course. I mean, we all knew it. It's you have to look at it just from the pure numbers aspect of what was done. Every single event won.
Well, every single major one.
That's what I meant. Major event won.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, one of them did that.
Yeah.
We're right there alone. I'm like, well, there you go.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and then add all the other stuff in. But...
Yeah, and I get the argument of, the level of play or the level of, or the quantity of players that are over a certain rating now, there's more.
But
there are.
Take that with any single sport ever, right?
Yeah.
Well, so Larry Bird can't be the GOAT in basketball because the playing field was different back then. No.
Well, you know what? Even talking about that, think about this.
You
can even take into consideration, or
Michael Jordan.
Was basket design, catching design as good back then? So he had to deal with those downfalls.
There's so many different arguments to go in with it, but I'm glad that Wysocki weighed in on it because his opinion is very valuable in this specific context because he's there.
Yep.
He was there for both, right?
Exactly.
So no,
it's good to see that.
I don't think that Buhr's disillusioned either. I mean, he's made comments as to such like, "Hey, I've got to be playing for a little bit longer." You know what I mean? Like, I've got some time to cook here.
Yeah.
And I think just how strong he is right now, barring any kind of like injury or something unfortunate that would happen, he will probably surpass if he keeps it up. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. 100%. Like he's got a very promising career. So
yeah,
I'm actually looking forward to it. I think it's actually, that's a very hopeful message in and of it, right? Like there's a goal to meet and surpass.
Oh yeah.
So
and you know what? One thing that I do, so when Gannon came on the scene and was started to be a force to reckon with, it was one of those things that, okay, is this going to be a flash in the pan? Was he just hot this season? He has definitely put himself in as somebody to look out for consistently moving forward. But one thing I got to give to him above, especially currently, above most everybody, is his golf IQ. His athletic IQ and how he looks at the sport is at the top. So how he portrays himself with his buddies and stuff like that. You're with your friends, right? You're goofy, you're corny, but when he gives interviews, it's very not only entertaining, but it's informative. So I enjoy listening to his, and he's so open about everything. Like he does not. Sometimes it seems like the people interviewing him are like, but he just keeps going because he's got so much to say, and he's got so much that he wants to put out there and explain, which is a breath of fresh air, because a lot of people are just kind of short and to the point with their answers, and they kind of want to get interviewed and move on, which, depending on who it is. But he's got a lot of information in his head, disc golf wise, and he's not afraid to be vulnerable about what he's discussing. And that's very welcome from my point of view.
It lends itself to a certain honesty that is, at least, I think we agree, we both at least appreciate, right? That's something to see, that the wheels turning and the honesty in that moment of what you're thinking and what you're trying to work on. So that's cool. I like it. And I hope he keeps that kind of throughout his career. So
we'll see. We'll see how long it takes for him to get near those benchmarks now and records and stuff like that. And he's only 19, guys.
Yeah. He's got a long way to go.
All right. So recently there were some disciplinary actions that were put on some people. One of them was Jonathan Ray. That was due to the whole Masters Tour event where the money was spent, which he copped to it. It's not like he was trying to hide it, so he was upfront about it. He was given a 1-year suspension and 1-year probation. So the idea is that, or things going around, is that, are we going to ever see him TD an event in the future? I'm guessing probably not. Most people are saying, you never know. But with that kind of a thing that happens, people tend to stray away. Maybe he'll be supportive in the background, but he's probably not going to be the face of any events moving forward. No. Johnny McCray
surprisingly
got a 9-month probation, and it comes from, and if you don't watch, highly suggest go watch disc golf .law. He covers some of this stuff.
Love that show.
Very informative.
Not a sponsor. Love the show. Go check it out.
Yeah, exactly.
I love the show.
So he had some frustration at the recent Tim Selinsky Masters, is what it sounds like. He has had some history of being vocal on the course, and I don't think it's over, like crazy, but it's enough, I guess, apparently. So he got 9-month probation. And the other one, which is kind of not surprising, is Eric Oakley. So Eric Oakley's been upfront about his outward acts at events, and his reactions that he's had at previous events, as to his frustration for his gameplay. which, come on, we all get frustrated now and then. It's just how you deal with it, right?
Yep.
And sometimes it builds up to a point that maybe it's a one-off situation where you just blow up. It's not good. It's not a good look. It's not the smart way to act, but it happens, right? Sometimes you just hit your limit of dealing with whatever it is that day, whether it's a combination of your gameplay and other people. Maybe you hear snide remarks. Maybe you hear, it
would be an interesting person to weigh in on this.
Who's that?
Nico Castro.
No. Let's move on.
No, I really think so. I think so. Because if you think about it, who could you think of that's the more emotional, like, displaying person in disc golf?
He wears his emotions on his sleeve for sure.
Yeah. And some would say, well, he's probably the most passionate person in disc golf.
Yeah.
I think he'd be interesting to talk to and get his opinion on it. Just saying.
If it could be a civil, calm discussion.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely. I'm not talking about
the thing is there
anybody, but
the thing there is that people who tend to have those tendencies they can take things personal instead of looking at it from outside and addressing any questions without taking it.
Right.
It's tough. And it's no fault on theirs. It's just how a lot of people react.
And the discussion is, at least to me, where's the line? Where's the line between people are human, right? You see golfers smashing golf clubs, rarely
breaking them over their legs,
right? But it happens.
Yep.
Do they get suspensions and fines for that? Maybe.
I think they probably get fines for that.
Maybe.
Probably.
Right. But where's the line, and what's the amount? And is a probation or a suspension or a fine? Where is the line on all of that? How is this decided at these certain levels, right? What's the rule book or the lines that are drawn in the sand, if you will? What are those? I'm sure they're somewhere.
Yeah.
Right? I haven't seen them personally because I haven't really looked for them, but I'm sure they're somewhere. What are those? Are they appropriate? Should there be more? Should there be less?
Well, this one was interesting because he gets 12-month probation, and it's like unconfirmed as to like some of the reasons were when you get called or not even called, but just seen. So like it's not even like official being addressed officially. Stuff like that. So that again, that one's not completely open as to we know all the aspects of why he got probation or why he got disciplinary actions put on him. But anyways,
and to be clear, I'm not saying there shouldn't be.
Yes.
Right. There definitely should be, but where is the line? Is what I'm saying. Right. Even in
exactly.
Hockey, you're getting, penalized for instigating and stuff. There should be, but what is it? I'd like to see that and kind of dive into that a little more.
I think the biggest thing with him, and this is just guessing from my point of view, is when you're an athlete, when you set expectations for yourself, most athletes at that level set them very high.
Sure.
As you consistently are missing those, and not because you're not trying or you're not doing well, you're just being outplayed at that point. Yeah. It's definitely, it can be soul crushing.
Oh, absolutely.
It can make you question if you're even doing what you should be doing.
Right. I mean, that's why specifically I don't play Tetris with the wife anymore. It's the one video game she beats me in, and I'm sure that somewhere in there she's cheating. You hear me? I'm on to you. I know there's a game up there.
I don't know if
I'm gonna figure it out. I
don't think.
You're setting the bar up here for yourself, and you're just getting crushed by your completing lines that you can't. Anyways.
Yeah. So anyways, those are recent disciplinary actions. So a new thing was recently posted about how there's a recent approved disc from MVP / Simon Lines. It is called the Balance. It is called the Balance, right? And this is Simon's newest mold in the Simon line of discs, right?
Yep.
Well, there's already a disc out there called the Balance by another manufacturer.
But not MVP.
Not MVP. Now, MVP, however, we'll put in the links a link to, actually, you can just go on mvpdiscsports.com, go to their news section, and they did a blog post of statement on the Balance. We also shared it on our socials.
Yeah.
But basically, they're kind of stating that they have open trademark right now that they're trying to clear on that name, and it hasn't been completed yet. But it was applied for back in 2023.
See, this would be a really good conversation for discgolf.law
because I bet you he's got one coming up.
As I understand it, you can't trademark like common names like that. Like I can't just create something called, I don't know, the car, right? Like the MVP car, and now I've trademarked car. You can't use car in your name because car. No, you can't do that. Balance is a common word.
Simon Line Balance.
Sure.
That's very specific.
And I think where it runs into an issue is if there's going to be confusion.
Yeah.
And I don't think reasonably somebody's going to confuse an MVP line Balance with another manufacturer's Balance.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Come on. That's stretching it. And I hate when companies do this. They're like, well, I'm trademarking it. Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And I hope it doesn't happen because that's stupid.
But they did say that they were discussing it or they tried to discuss it and clear it up.
It's not even a conversation. Like I am the wrong person to be running a manufacturing line like that because I'd tell the other company to buzz off. Like, get out of here. See you in court. You're like, I wouldn't even waste my time with a conversation.
I think that's kind of what happened.
That's so stupid.
His other company was like, we're not even going to
entertain this, Nick, is what makes my blood boil. Like, stuff like that. It's so petty and stupid.
You're not a fan?
Not a fan. Not a fan. Ugh.
Yeah, so it is an interesting situation because I want to say it's the first time that discs, because I believe when people go to name a disc, I'm pretty sure that they go through and check see if it's been used before. But
maybe.
How long has this been in the pipeline too? We don't know.
Yeah,
with Simon.
It's just
they do a lot of back and forth.
Think about Innova. How many discs do they have that are animal names?
Oh, so many.
But damn near all of them.
Yeah.
Right? Like, Innova has a disc called the Ape. Can't come out with an ape.
Yeah.
Really? So nobody can have a cheetah, a leopard, an ape.
Yeah.
Really? These are common names.
I don't know how. Well,
get out of here.
Whenever you look at the new manufacturers, they tend to try to stay away from similar.
They try to.
Like, you know what I mean?
They try to.
They do try.
But I don't think
you're going to have this happen. You're going to have this happen at some point.
There's
now
not
it's
a real
happening.
good reason other than you're trying to make it apparent that your stuff is different from another company for risk of confusion.
Yeah.
But is it really a risk of confusion? I don't think so.
No. And it's, I believe the other manufacturer is a very small company.
And think about it this way. If you're a disc golfer and you're going to purchase a specific disc, even a beginner disc golfer, you're going to notice the difference between company names.
Oh, yeah.
And when you walk into a pro shop, they usually have sections for each manufacturer of disc, right?
Yeah.
Unless it's some kind of weird thing where they're just throwing them all up against the wall, which I guess could happen. But when you pick the disc up and you look at it, it's going to be very clearly one company versus another, right?
Especially in this case.
Right.
Because MVP is very unique as to how they make their discs.
Absolutely. Especially versus all these other companies, right? Like, get out of here, dude. I'm not buying it. It just seems like one of those nitpicky company bull crap things that it just irritates the crap out of me.
Yeah, yeah. So, let us know what you think.
Blood pressure rising.
Should either of them give way, or does it even matter to you? All right. So we know during the off season you have manufacturer switches, and we touched on this last show as to there's a large amount of people that are switching. One of them, recently, Carter Ahrens.
Hey, Brodie, did you hear that?
so
Ahrens.
Carter Ahrens just recently announced a partnership with Flexline Discs. And to me, it looks like this is going to be an open bag. It's kind of like how people are sponsored by Infinite. Because even in the post that he made, he stated something of like, if you're looking for MVP or Destroyer, or any of a Destroyer. So it sounds like he's probably going to have more of an open bag. But Carter Ahrens is definitely a name you want to keep your eye on.
Right.
He's definitely an up-and-comer. So look out for him. Another one that I just saw is, if you haven't heard of AGL, it's called Above Ground Level, AGL Discs. Their niche is, when you buy their discs, they're all tree related names or foliage. Niche. What?
Niche.
Niche. Did I say niche?
No, you said niche.
Oh, niche. Sorry. I say it both. I say it both ways. So
well, you're wrong one way.
Their thing is like, they'll provide you a seed of that tree, right? So they recently made a post, and I think it was tagged with Chandler Kramer, as to his face on a stamp, right, on their discs. So It's a local company. It's a Northern California manufacturer. But it looks like these are both people that recently parted ways with Lone Star, because Lone Star has had some issues over this year. So it seems like they have. But either way, it looks like Chandler's going to be doing some sort of collab, if not sponsored by AGL Discs. And maybe he has been sponsored by them, but kind of just like partial sponsorship. Because there are those type of sponsorships, manufacturer sponsorships, where people are allowed to throw a brand of putters, and then they have open bag on other parts, depending on how large that smaller manufacturer is and what kind of discs that they have available. Because smaller manufacturers don't have the variety, so you're going to have these slots that need to be filled one way or another. So I'm thinking that's probably maybe along those lines. But yeah, those are kind of some of the smaller things that we discussed. But before we do move on to some bigger topics that we want to discuss, Justin.
Yes.
Can you tell the people what to do?
You need to go and hit that subscribe button. And think about it. You can always unsubscribe later, but it really helps us out if you can just hit that subscribe button. Pushes us closer to that goal and doing a massive giveaway. So help us get there. Hit the subscribe button. Thank you.
Let's jump right into it.
Oh man. Here we go.
What that throwback from, huh?
Here we go.
Good old Phil. Okay. Brodie Smith, late this season.
Yes.
Recently had announced that he was going to be not prioritizing disc golf because he has other ventures.
Right.
You know what those are. I'm not going to go over them again.
Right.
Just very recently, he made a post stating that he's giving it another go. He's all in on disc golf. So
what you're saying is Brodie Smith is a liar.
That's definitely how some people would state it. I'm not going to state it that way, but that is definitely how some people will state this.
I am. You're a liar, Brodie Smith, since apparently I'm taking issue with him this episode for no apparent reason.
Because
let's just start some false drama, Nick. Yeah, that's right. You heard it. You heard it here on the Disc Golf Show. Brodie Smith's a liar.
I want to know how this hurts people.
I don't know.
How does this make you so passionate that you got to be like, oh, he's just doing it because blah, 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 or his contract is up. So I'm curious as to what's going in with that. But yeah, he's going to be, sounds like he's got the bug again, because we all go through these up and downs with anything you're into. You get exhausted, you get tired of doing one aspect. That's why what it is? What?
I think it's just that he's more vocal about it.
Yeah.
I think that's simply it.
He's got a bigger platform.
He's got a bigger platform, exactly. And when he has the opportunity to share things, he's pretty open about things. He does. And I don't think he's unique to the experiences that he's going through. I just think it's more apparent to everybody because he can be.
Higher visibility.
So, yeah.
You know?
I think that's all it is, really.
But I personally...
And he's a rotten liar.
Well, check this out. Somebody did make a post on his, or make a comment on his post stating that he, in 2 or 3 years, he had a couple like top 20s, top 10s. Okay. I think he even had a podium at one of the DGPT events.
Oh, okay.
I think. If not, it was like a top 5 or something like that. All so, in the short amount of time, and mind you, he really only came in 2020, and he had that funky season with COVID, right? So he had to deal with all that. So he's really only been like, quote unquote, serious about disc golf for 4 years. That's not a long period of time. I think, and somebody mentioned this, I think it's much more difficult to jump into something at the top tier.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's what he did. He had people expected him because he's athletic, right? And he has a history of being the best in ultimate. People expected him to be gung-ho, all in, which he was that part, but to come out and prove himself and win a bunch. Okay, for all these people that are saying that, those people, I'm asking you, not you, but all those people, how many times have you won? How many years have you been playing? How many times have you won a C tier in your area?
Well, I don't know. I've talked to someone that has said if they took every disc that they've aced with out of their bag, they just have no discs left.
They just have no discs left.
Yeah.
There
are people out there.
Yeah, it's mind-boggling to me, the people that he already probably gives himself. Again, he's an athletic guy, right? He probably already gives himself a bar to hit that's pretty high. And again, in that aspect, it's exhausting when you push, and you're not reaching that. I think other people were giving him even higher of a bar to hit. And I think it was unrealistic. I think what he should have done, but it wouldn't have worked with his situation because he's got a large platform, a big outreach. He should have gone, let's do the first 1 or 2 years and play a bunch of A tiers.
Right.
And see where I'm at. But when you're that big of a name and that big of a contract, or whatever contract he had, which isn't going to be small, he's shoved into the limelight and expected to play at these big events because he's a big name, which makes sense, right? But you shouldn't be expecting him to be winning. Like, you just shouldn't. Right. You shouldn't. So the steps in which he came into the sport, I think, were much more difficult for him than it has been on a lot of other people. And people whine because, there's so many other people that are more deserving. Oh, so you're telling me that all the years of him building his brand, right, mean nothing just because he hasn't been playing disc golf his whole life? Play better. Sorry.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
If you've got that harsh of an attitude towards him, go play in open. I bet you most of those people are not playing open.
Yeah.
I think most of them are at best playing AM1.
A little bit of an unfair comparison because they're not top tier athletes and they understand that, but that's what they expect out of top tier athletes.
But
and I'm not saying that
he's a top tier athlete in ultimate.
Sure. I'm not saying that they're correct in that assumption. I'm just saying I think that's where it's coming from. Like, well, he's a top tier athlete, so he should be able to transition over to this other sport that's very similar,
which is crazy,
and just be top tier, right? I mean, I think the comparison is like, oh, well, you take a Michael Jordan who's top tier in basketball, you throw him in baseball, and he's immediately top tier. Oh wait,
that's right.
Oh wait, no, that didn't happen. Well, if you take a really top tier, UFC fighter and you throw him into boxing, he'll just be. Oh wait,
no.
Oh, yeah, no, that rarely happens too. Oh, weird. It's weird. I don't know.
It's almost like there's
hard
different qualities in different sports
that make them a unique sport from one another.
It's almost like that. Almost like that.
It's weird that happens.
Yeah.
That's
so I personally, I am curious as to how committed he will be this year. How many events is he going to have a full season in 2025?
I'm excited for him.
I am
If he's
too.
all in and he's like gung ho about it, great.
Yeah.
I would rather see somebody happy and enjoying it and doing it versus like, I don't want to watch that.
Yeah.
I don't want that for somebody else. Like, I'm glad he's happy and all in on it. That's good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what he's going to do.
Exactly. Couple quick notes here. Talking about big names. And Dylan Cease. Dylan Cease is, if you haven't heard his name, which you probably should have by now, he's the one who was on some of the celebrity disc golf events that they've held over the past few years. He is a MLB pitcher, recent no-hitter pitcher, and he's a disc golfer. And he's hooked up with McBeth. They're the ones who brought you and purchased out Olympus, which is the chess.com course. Yes. They're the ones who saved that course from getting removed. McBeth and Cease, are bringing back, and I don't even know, you might not even remember this if you haven't been in disc golf for a while. They're bringing back the brand Supreme Flight.
Yeah.
Because of the links that, sporting or athletic links that what?
That's real close to Supreme.
The brand, the red,
the red and white, I think it is.
Did you copyright?
Man, you better. That word.
Supreme.
That word.
They added Flight, so it's okay. They added Flight. It's okay.
Okay.
So that brand is coming back with McBeth and Cease. Also, Dylan Cease has recently announced that he has now become part owner of Brixton. Brixton Disc Golf are the ones who are bringing you the awesome. Hold on a second.
Oh, you have it? Oh, look at that.
Yeah. So, the disc golf cards. And on that topic, I don't know if you, for all you haters of Brodie, you'll love this. Those boxes are just now, if you haven't received yours, you should be soon. But I got that yesterday. And as of, I want to say Friday, might have been just this weekend, Brodie he has his Dark Horse sports cards, right? Where he rips packs sports. Well, he's another aspect of where he's introducing disc golf to other people, because the majority of the people that watch his channel are football, basketball, baseball card lovers, right?
Mm-hmm.
He went on and I wasted so many hours watching it. I stayed up too late.
Wasted? Because I'm offended on his behalf.
It's not a waste for me because it was fun to watch, because it's that like gratification thing of like, ooh, what's coming next out of this next pack, right?
And then
but he kept going near the end of the stream on whatnot. Mm-hmm. He kept going, I can't end like that. I just can't end like that. Should we open another box, guys? Should we open another box? And of course, everyone is just like, yeah, let's do another one, right? And then the way on whatnot, the way it works is people buy that box and he unboxes it and then you get that. So he's revealing, but you get it, right?
Perfect. Yeah.
And then he was selling like packs separately, and then the way you would get certain things, he was doing different ways. It was it was pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
But he had behind him 6 cases of these boxes. These boxes retail right now, I think it's $79.95. And there's 50 of those in a case.
It's a lot of money.
That's $4,000 a case.
Yeah.
So he ended up opening,
Woo!
I want to say, he ended up opening for the time that I watched, which was, again, way too long.
Here's my thing, though.
What's that?
And hear me out. And maybe there will, well, obviously there will be, but how much are those individual cards worth? What's the highest priced card right now? What are the values of any of the cards?
Whatever somebody's going to buy it for is the answer to that. And right now, you don't have a solid
football,
market.
Baseball, basketball, all these like cards that you can get right now, Magic cards, Pokemon cards, they all have values.
Yeah.
So when you buy a pack or a box or a case or a pallet of cases, there's a certain expected potential value, I guess I should say, that you could recoup. Ooh, like only people like Brodie Smith would be getting out there getting cases right now, because what's the potential value of any of those? No idea right now. I know there will be a market. I'm not dumb, but yeah, there'll be very few of those type of purchases. Maybe you buy a box just to see and kind of speculate, I guess you will, on purchases, or just collect them because you want to collect them.
Yeah, I've seen a couple people with a case in the background, so that's still $4,000 for a case, and that's just one case. And there's 8 packs in just one of those boxes.
I mean,
and
if
there's
you got
5 cards per pack. So
if you got
there's
like
only
FU
40
money,
cards.
then okay.
Yeah,
but I ain't.
Well, think about that. There's only 40 cards in this, at most.
Yeah,
because some of them, every once in a while, you'll get those really, really thick ones with like disc pieces of discs or apparel.
Which, super cool. I even love those like baseball one where you get like little bits of jersey or I like this. So.
Yeah.
Good
so
on you.
40, that's $2 a card is what you're spending. Right. So again, the biggest the one card that has a bounty on it, Adam Hammis has a $2,500, I believe it's $2,500 bounty on Decade of Dedication or Decade of I'm blanking on the last word, but it's a McBeth card. It's a McBeth card, and so it's a 1 of 1. And Adam Hammis, before these even got released, put a bounty of $2,500. So if you hit that card, contact Adam. But I think some of these, some of these are signed. Some of them have the event-worn jerseys or discs that were used that are cut up. So those ones could definitely fetch a decent amount.
For sure. So
those ones, yes. But again, like you said, the market kind of is only limited to really old small runs of small companies that did some cards back in the day, as well as the most recent one was the Golden Era series from Brixton.
Right.
That was a shorter run than this. Mm-hmm. And those have some value. But yeah, there's really not enough to have a consistent idea of what all these cards will go for. Obviously, if you're a fan, they're worth more to you.
Sure.
But that is going to be interesting because Brixton is basically creating the market here. So this is one thing that I told them. It was like, I'm really excited for what Brixton's bringing to disc golf because this is a whole new collectibles market.
Sure. Yeah.
So I love it.
It really
and it doesn't take up a ton of space.
It really hasn't been tapped into too. So from a business standpoint
and they're doing really cool stuff. Like the cards that they're making, the ideas and the looks of them are really nice. So it's not just like cheap, cheesy little put it out there and let's just get money. They're putting thought and effort into the design on these cards, and I love the design aspect of these. So I appreciate any thought that goes into making something look visually better and stuff like that. And they have like Wonder Bread style cards, so the Wonder Bread stamp,
Right.
They have a Brixton background. They've got a Throw Joe's, which is kind of like Hawaiian themed background. They've got the Tokyo and the Midnight Tokyo, which are the ones that people really want, the black version of the Tokyo. And they got the sign, the articles, and all that stuff. So, and then they have one's funny is, I think it was called Unscripted series, where they give the athlete 4 cards, and they can do whatever they want on them. And one of them that Brodie pulled was Buhr, and it was him, and he drew a dog, the head of a dog on it. And then Garrett Girthy has one that says hole. Somebody pulled it, and it said hole on it. And that might have been on Brodie's as well. But I think it says go in the hole is his 4 words on his. So, yeah. So, if you got a box, let us know. You can post your video of opening it and tag Brixton Breaks, I think is what it is, and you're entered into a giveaway. So right. Big shout out to Brixton for bringing this to all of us. I'm really, really excited to open the one that I have here and possibly more. We'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Awesome.
Stuff.
All right, so let's move up into the very last section of the show itself. Let's do one question here, Nick, and I'm going to pose it to you this time. I know it's usually the other way around, but let's do it this way. Black Friday is coming up, as we all know, right? If you're in the States, our Thanksgiving is at the end of this month in November. If you're Canadian, you had it in October, the previous month. But Black Friday comes up. It's the biggest sale day of the year, they say. Think any deals are coming up for disc golf? You have any inside information you can share with people that they've let you specifically know, Nick, that this is going to be on sale?
No. But there will be.
There definitely will be.
There will be. They always have Black Friday deals. I know some of the companies are discounting their old stock stuff. I'm sure that's going to be a big thing. But yeah, there's always Black Friday enters every aspect of our life, whether it's electronics or apparel or whatever. Right. So it's definitely going to hit disc golf. So keep your eyes peeled for your favorite manufacturer.
So
and what deals are
if you're looking to pick up some bags and some discs and stuff like that, it might be worth holding out to hit those Black Friday deals. I'm excited for whatever's might be coming up. But you know what? Let's say, Nick, just for instance, you can't wait. You can't wait. You need to pick yourself up a new disc golf bag now. Or maybe you need to pick something up as a gift item. You can do that, and there's a way that you can save money even before Black Friday, and that's by using the code DiscGolfShow, all one word, at Upper Park Disc Golf to save yourself 15% off on that purchase. So, if you got some swag you want to pick up that new Upper Park Disc Golf bag, set yourself up with one of those nice backpack bags, or you're buying it as a gift for your favorite disc golfer, save yourself some money. Use the code DiscGolfShow to get yourself 15% off that purchase. Pretty good deal. And that's before Black Friday. That's any time. Use the code, save yourself some money. This episode was brought to you in part by Final Nine Sports, which maybe they'll have Black Friday sales. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
They do. They usually do. Yeah.
We'll see. We don't know.
Your local retailer. Check them out. Yeah.
We don't know if they will. So check them out. They have 2 locations, one in Rockland, one in Orangeville. And support local. Check out your local shop, like Nick just said. If you want to contact us, you can by shooting us an email at theshow@discgolfshow.com or leave your comments down below if you're watching the YouTube video. And I think that brings us to the end of the episode. Remember to hit that subscribe button. You can always unsubscribe, but it helps us out. It helps us push us towards those goals. But just remember, at the end of the day, in disc golf, as in life, aim high and let it fly.